So we'll start out with Kudos. We've got one from Bob for the Brainerd Dispatch. Oh, and it's mostly loaded here. Let's see if we can get it to show up. A few of these pages were just super slow to load here. There we go.
Oh, share your screen.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Brandon. Yes. All right, there. See, yes, we're showing secret pages. This is a page from Bob. Nice outdoors page, and nice deer behind in the lower photo there. So nice work, Bob. Here's one from Cindy for the Brainerd paper as well. And nice touch of the balloons floating up into the flag or the folio of that page. And some nice little touches of red in the centerpiece, headline and photo, and bringing it down into that drop cap as well. So nice work, Cindy. Nice looking page. This is one of Jackie's for Dickinson, and she's got a black and white page, but she still did a lot with it. So nice centerpiece here, like the dotted lines pulling things together. And it looks like she's got, it kind of looks like tape holding the photos, almost like little snapshots there at the top. So it's a nice little touch. Good job, Jackie. Here's one of Brandon's for Duluth, and this is a front page. Nice color in the centerpiece headline there, and I believe that was for deer hunting opener there. Nice looking page, and nice big pull quote there right at the top as well. Nice work, Brandon. Here's one of Dave's for Duluth, and a great soccer shot there. A couple of really good photos here with the soccer shot up top, and then the football image down below. Really nice looking. Good job, Dave. Here's one of Becca's, and this is also for Duluth and for their A&E page, and great imagery there. And I like how she pulled the colors from the main image out and dropped it into this little pullout as well, and just tying everything together there with the headline up into the hair of that illustration. Very nice looking. I'm just like curious of the oh, it was a Getty Images illustration, so very cool. Nice work, Becca. Let's see if we can get this to load here. Oh, this is one of Wayne's for the forum, and a centerpiece about both the new movie Bohemian Rhapsody, as well as there was a local or a tribute band that just came to town and was playing at a local theater as well. So tying that all together, really nice looking centerpiece package there with all three images there. Nice work. And here's one of Joe's. This is for the forum sports. Another bison page. We get to see lots of green and yellow this time of year. And again, you know, we always have these two columnists on the Saturday for Sunday buys and pages there. So doing the game recaps, and so you know we get to see everybody's different treatments of those columnists, and with different imagery each week. So nice work, Joe. And we've got a page by Marcy for Grand Forks. Oops, jumped the gun there. Let's see here. There we go. Oh, this is one that Marcy's been holding on to since this one's from August, and a travel page that she had done for the forum, for Grand Forks, and I like how she pulled the looks like she pulled the mountains out of that image, and then used that for the headline of Boulder. And then she's got looks like maybe, I don't know if it's just little portions of that image again throughout, it appears. So a nice way to bring some color to the page, using the images that main image that she got for the centerpiece. So nice work, Marcy. Here we've got a Grand Forks page from Tanner, and we've got a lot of Vikings purple there, both in the centerpiece photo, which has nothing to do with the Vikings, and the teasers up top. Great looking teasers at the top of the page. Nice cutouts there. Nice work, Tanner. And we've got one from Angie. This is one that she's kind of been holding on to. This is from back in August, and again a nice clean front page, nice cutout at the top there, and we've got art really pulling your eye all the way down the page. So nice work, Angie. All right, that is all of those. And then we also pulled together the a bunch of the election night pages that we just wanted to take a look through. It's kind of like, as I've said before, it's kind of nice to see everyone's take on similar themes. And so we thought we'd just take a glance quickly through all of you guys' election night pages. So let me see if I can get back to the first one here. This one is Brainerd, the Brainerd A1 by Bob, a new sheriff in town. And here we've got Bemidji's by Lucas. Nice use of the red, white, and blue in the centerpiece headline. Here we've got Cloquet. This was done by Megan. Oops. A lot of election results there over on the side. Very nice. We've got Dickinson's by Paula. Nice centerpiece. Kramer's win over Height Camp in North Dakota. This is Cindy's for Detroit Lakes. Nice bright headline and great, really nice photo that they found for the election page. Okay. Here's one from Addie, and this is a great use of the teaser space. giving all of those results right up top. That's fantastic. Let's see that whole page here. And a lot of you had a lot to cram on your front pages, and these are really looking good. You had a lot of information to try and pack onto them, lots of story starts, so nice work. This was Emma's for the Farmington. And I will note that a lot of these pages did have several of you who worked on them, especially some of these weekly pages. A lot of them were started by one person and finished by another. So I'm reading off the names that were at the top of, or on the files, but Emma did note that a lot of them had a lot of folks who worked on them. So kudos to everyone who was touching these pages. This is the forums. This was Sarah's. Did you do this?
That's
graphic?
today's. No, I didn't.
This is
Troy
today's.
make that.
Okay.
Troy did that.
I was gonna say, did you do that on the fly?
No.
Wow.
I just added
no.
a little bit so it fit in there better.
Okay. So anyway, so this is actually today's, not election night's. So a day late follow-up page, but again, a nice centerpiece package there. Infographics from Troy Becker. This is one of Tanner's, and this is, I really like this treatment as well with the results, especially because Grand Forks couldn't have results because they print so early. This was a nice treatment without actually having any of the information to give people, you know, kind of just a soft lead there. So nice work, Tanner. This is Cindy Duffy's for Hastings. And this is one that it was too close to call still by press time. Again, a lot of story starts and a lot of mug shots there on the cover. We've got a Hudson page. This was worked on by both Tim and Michael. And they actually led with a high school musical, it looks like, but they still got election results down the rail on that. So nice treatment of that. And here is Jackie's for Jamestown. Again, lots of mug shots out on the cover, and look at all of those stories that they wanted started on the cover. Wow, that is a lot of story starts.
Too many, if you ask me.
Jackie is saying perhaps too many, but nice. I think you did a good job with them. So, I mean, wow, that is six story starts plus the standalone photo. Crazy. But a nice treatment of it. It's nice and clean. You got it all out there, so nice work. This is Angie's for Mitchell. Nice big power head at the top. And then again, a lot of results there in the shaded box. And again, quite a few story starts there. You know, when you start counting in the election results there, that's a lot of starts on that page. Nice work, Angie. Oh, and what is it doing? Okay. This is one that Cindy, Joe, and Emily all worked on, it looks like. And this was for the River Falls Journal. And again, they had some other stories on their cover, but they ran that rail of election results down the side, and as well as one of the election stories. So nicely put together. All right, I think that is all of them. All right, so nice work, all of you. From the manager's standpoint, we felt like everything, oh, where did that one come from? This is one of Megan's. This was for Red Wing. And this was again another one that did not have results because it prints at 2:30, so they didn't hold their page, but a nice treatment of the I voted election stickers there. I like that imagery there quite a bit. So nice work on that. All right, let's make sure. I think we saw the rest. I don't know how that one snuck in there. Oh, no. A couple more, sorry. This is Brandon's for Worthington. And not only election, but he also there were 2 special sections in this paper as well that he had to tease up at the top. And again, lots of story starts on the front there. Nicely done, Brandon. And we've got Jenny's for Wilmer. And holy cow, look at all those! Wowee! Wow. So they kind of briefed most of their races.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We ended up cutting them down a lot.
Yeah, I would imagine. Jenny just said that they ended up cutting them down a lot to get them all on. But yeah, that is unusual, but a really nice treatment. I think that's a cool way of doing it. I mean, it's something that we didn't see in all of the others. So nicely done, Jenny.
Joe did most of the layout.
Oh, Joe did?
Yeah, he
okay.
did it the day before, and I just mostly put in all the stuff. So.
All right. So Joe had started that on Sunday, and then Jenny plugged everything in. So, well done to both of you. Good job. All right. Now I think we're done. So, fantastic work. So, like I was saying, from the manager's standpoint, we felt like everything really went pretty well. Election day, election night. I think we had, I know that a few of you had messaged me and let us know about just some struggles that you had. We had some late content that came in, and a few stories that were later than anticipated, so it made it quite a scurry at the end. I think we were all kind of anticipating that anyway, that it'd be a lot of waiting and then a mad rush at the end. But I think I only heard about, one paper that didn't make deadline, and that was because of newsroom issues. It was not a design problem. So I think that's phenomenal. I didn't hear any complaints from any editors. We've got a few kudos that are coming out in the weekly roundup. So I'd say that's a success for our first bigger election for the Design Hub. We've had some primaries and smaller things, but this is the biggest one that we've done since we've been part of the hub, I think. So were we a hub yet in 2016? Maybe, but we didn't have nearly as many papers on.
I was here
then.
and it was like on the 5th floor.
Okay.
Being followed.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It would have
I
been
was
early
here
in
for
the days of the
Yeah.
Design Hub, I believe. So anyway, especially combining our terrible Tuesday and election night, I think we did really well. I'm very happy with it. If any of you have things that you feel like we could do better for next time, I'm going to try and compile some notes for us, just to kind of have stashed away for 2 years from now when we go, how did we do this? And how did we staff and all of that sort of stuff, you know. Send them my way. We managers talked about doing a better job about getting like all of the local races, mugshots for all of those local races from all of the papers, so that we'd have those toned and ready and on hand to just have one more thing kind of off our plates. Stashing some of those rails like Emma had made for the River Towns elections, just so we've got those stashed away, so we can just tweak them a little bit in a couple of years, so that we don't need to rebuild them, things like that. But if any of you have any other suggestions to make things go more smoothly, send them our way, and we'll get them in our notes. So, thank you. All right, so just a few things to touch base on. We've had this happen a few times for a few different papers. Do not bleed photos off the edges of your pages. If you've got, some of our pages are built so that the bleed is right at the edge of our page, and some of them are built so you've got your little red line and then you've got some white around it, so you see that bleed. Do not let it extend past that line. Any images like in your either like centerpiece images or teaser images, some of the presses it just does not work with having those bleeds, and so then they end up sending them back to us and asking us to redo them and stuff. So if we just keep them within those margins, if you need to, put either crop your photo, or you can even just lay white boxes over the edges if you need to. So either one is fine as long as we don't see that image hanging off the page. So let's see if I can do this quickly. Cindy had asked about finding FNS stories, where to find them, and I don't know that I can pull them up really quickly here. Any of the budgets. Let's see.
Your drive. You put that drive icon.
Yeah.
You just search the FNS budget.
So I know you all get those budgets a couple of times a day. And actually, let's see, even if I just pull open an old one, that is not it. I apologize for not having this all prepped.
You have the emails they get.
Yeah.
It's right on top there.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. All right, so when we get these emails, we've got our budget that pops up for us. Oh, let me screen share again. All right, so when we get these budgets, the ones that come in our email are a static budget, so it's not going to update in our email. But if you go to like the Thursday digest, this is the live version of the budget that's going to be updated throughout the night. Now, I know, especially for those of you who work at night, a lot of times you guys use the FNS budget quite a lot, and are hopping in and grabbing stories as needed, because some of the papers don't link stories on the budgets right away. But for those of us who work dayside, it's a lot more rare that we go to the FNS budget, because they're generally all linked for us. All of our stories are linked. But if you need to, like I said, you can go to that, the budget, and these are the digests for each day of the week. So these are always refreshing with the newest of those digests. And so if there's a story listed on a budget that you need to find, it may be either on today's budget, or it might be, you know, a day or two late. It also could be under one of these headers, like a business story, and this would just take you to the drive with all of the latest business stories. And if you go to Glass Modified, they're going to have your latest ones. So I hope that kind of gives you some idea of where to find things. I don't know if Cindy's still on, but so like I said, for we daysiders, it's pretty rare that we need to go and hunt down something on the digest, but that gives you a really quick and dirty view of how that works. And reach out to a manager too if you are struggling to find something. So, all right. Let's see here. And then, let's see. Oh, be careful about the types of fillers that you use for your pages. We had an unfortunate one this week on an obituaries page, and it was just a little like 1 by 1.5 inch filler, and it was like that newspaper's name with a cup of coffee. It's a cup of coffee and this paper, life is good. And it was like directly below the obituaries. And so a reader called and complained about the life is good right below the obituaries. So just be cautious in what you're using for fillers. Again, we've talked about, maybe try not to have like a Cars HQ on a page that has a car dealership's ads on it. The Rivertown's papers, we can't use the Homes HQ fillers because they have an agreement with the MLS, with the realtors in town, not to use that. So, just be a little cautious in what you're using so that you don't have something like life is good under obituaries. So, let's see. Also remember that Rivertowns has a large and smaller filler under the Rivertown Library. Use that before a plug ad on their pages. Are you talking obituary pages, Emma? Okay, yep, for the obit pages. There are a few of the newspapers have obituary fillers, as well as like opinion pages. You pretty much never want to have filler ads on opinion pages. And a lot of the papers do have some sort of fillers. A lot of, like, for the opinion pages, a lot of them are ones about like how to contact your local officials and things like that. With the obits, there's a number of them have those filler type things that have just how to submit your obituaries and things. So check those libraries before you put a plug ad on an obit page. Sometimes it's not going to work, but sometimes it'll be just fine. So, and even like Wilmer has a filler type of thing that is for their milestones page, and they have their file is linked in it, they call it the baby bear, mama bear, and papa bear filler, and so they have 3 separate lengths of that filler that you can run the text with depending on the amount of space that you've got. So so just keep an eye on your budgets and in your libraries for those types of things. All right, and then my last thing is I wanted to just I think we've talked about this a little bit in the past, but I want to just make it very clear that all work that you are doing should be coming through the Design Hub managers. I know that we've had a few instances just recently where people in the newsroom or even people from outside of the newsroom have come to our designers asking them to do special projects. And I just want to make it very clear that those things should not be coming directly to any of you designers. That anything like that should be coming through one of the hub managers, and we will discuss it with you if we've given the okay. I know that it can be difficult when you are sitting in a room with, in many cases, with people that you used to work for, or that, you know, that we, editors that you used to work for that newspaper that you're sitting in. And when they come to you and ask you to do a special project, it's hard to say no, or say you need to go through the hub managers. But it's really important that everyone does that. And it's not so that we can tell them no. I don't know if there have been any instances, maybe one, where we've flat out told an editor, no, the designer's not gonna do that, that there is not time to do that. We managers will almost always find a way to make it happen. But the biggest thing is that we need to know how everyone is using their time, and that that an editor who only knows about their own newspaper that they're working on isn't coming to a designer who is working on something else for another newspaper. You know, we have 30-some newspapers that we are responsible for. Most of our editors are only responsible for one newspaper, so they're focused on that one, and I get that. But we need to remember that we're responsible for the entire company's newspapers, and so all our time needs to be managed to accommodate all of them. And like I said, it's not so that we can tell them no, that we're not doing things. It's partially for time management. It's partly so that if you get a project like that, we want to make sure that we're not also cramming a bunch of other pages on you guys at the same time. That we can ease up your workload so that you can focus on that special project, whether it's a graphic or an illustration or just a special centerpiece for a day or two down the road. And so if you have somebody coming up to you and asking you know whether it's an editor, whether it's an ad person, whether it's somebody from HR, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just please ask them to consult with the hub managers, give them our email address if they don't know, or if they're really insistent, please immediately just reach out to one of the managers on duty and say, hey, this person's asking me to help out with this project. I think I've got the time. Like a lot of times we have the time. We do have our slow times during our week. And so there's a very good chance we'll just say, yeah, go for it, do it, and sometimes too, some of the editors only know the talents of the people in their building, and sometimes there may be things that a different designer might be better suited for as well. And so it's finding that balance of our time, our talents of everyone on this team. There's so many of us, you know, there's so many different talents. And just making sure too that we're not being pulled in directions that are taking us away from what our mission is, which is, you know, producing pages for the newspapers of this company. It's not, you know, even if you're getting asked to make a poster for the newsroom potluck, you know, things like that. Or even, you know, I know some of us are on committees at our different locations, you know, whether it's Culture Committee or United Way or on the union. All of those are just fine. It's just it's just good for we managers to know about them so that we know, like, if it's Culture Committee day and you're gonna need an hour away, we're not gonna stack up your work quite as much because we know that you need to be away from your desk for a little bit. So it's we're trying to help you guys out as well. So like I said, I really ask that if you ever get any of those types of requests of your time and it has not come through one of we managers, please reach out to us and let us know that you've gotten this request and what it is, and then we'll reach back out to that editor or ad manager or whoever it is and just say, you know, get a little bit more information and see what it all involves. So, okay, and please, I hope you guys all feel that you can reach out to any of us, that if an editor is pushing hard. I know we've had some editors who have pushed very hard on designers and said, well, I know this isn't going to take you much time. You know, that it's not about that. It's, you know, we are no longer newsroom employees. We're IMOP employees, and so we need to have we need to look at that bigger picture and not just the one paper that we might be sitting in the room for. So I encourage you to reach out if you're getting some of that sort of pressure from anyone. So I appreciate it. All right, I think that is it from me. So have a good rest of your day, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.